running, how to get better at it. So the first thing then you need to be looking at is the big one is undergarments. Do not be wearing anything cotton during physical activity. If you're wearing anything cotton and you're going to, specifically if you're going to go out and do an endurance event, it's going to give you so much pain and so much uncomfort that will probably last for over until the next day or even a couple of days afterwards. So you're twice as more likely then not to turn up to your next training session, which is going to put you backwards in your program or whatever it may be. So do not need to go out and get the best brand all the time. As long as you're getting that same material, you can get them pretty cheap pretty much everywhere. Amazon, you know, all the other sort of fitness and outdoor shops, you know, here in the UK or wherever it may be, you will definitely be able to find some sort of undergarment, but definitely get them and make sure they're not cotton. The next thing then is probably a no-brainer then is your footwear. You need to have the adequate footwear for your job. And what I will say about these is do not follow trends. I fell victim to that and I followed the trend of Solomon, which was at the time everyone was buying them, so I bought them for myself. I quickly found out that these were not the shoe for my feet. If I had taken the time and sort of went and got advice from a running shop, which I advise you to do, they would have told me they are for more narrower feet. I have flat, so I'm flat footed. I've got a wide sort of shape with my feet, so I need trainers that are going to fit for that. So Solomons are no good for me. They're still a really good make. I'm not knocking them, but you need to have the right feet for them. So definitely go to that running shop. They will measure your feet. They will show you all the sort of different brands that you need to have for your feet or which are best for your feet. What I would say then is then you make this further decision of buying which one you want. You do not need to get the best brand all the time, so the highest brand, the most expensive brand. If you can't afford it, then happy days. But what I would urge you to think about then is when you're buying trainers, you need to be looking at trainers, changing them every sort of 3-4 months max, because that will then minimize all this. It means in the best shape to absorb all the impact that you're doing with running. So that keeps all the impact away from your shins, your knees, and all the other stuff that's going to cause you any sort of dramas. And if you're buying an expensive pair, which are 180, 190 pound upwards, think about maybe if you're going to have to do that 2-3 times a year, of the longevity and the cost there. So another thing about your warm-up then is, you know, take it slowly, get used to doing the exercise, you know, do all your dynamic sort of stuff so you're on the move as such. Definitely do not go full hell for bells straight out of the gate initially, because everything's just going to spike so quick. Your body's going to be in shock, it's going to know not what to do, and you're really setting yourself up for a fail for the rest of your session. There will be an element of your warm-up where you'll need to like push your body into that heart rate which you're desiring to achieve during your run itself. It means it's not going to be such a shock to the system whenever you go into that during your session itself. So your training sessions itself then, if you're going to be looking at running, you only really want to be doing this at least 3 times a week. So if you're wanting to get fitter, your anaerobic style of stuff, this is a hard one. This is whenever you're training with a watch, you're in that red zone. This is your 100%. Everyone's 100% is totally different, so everyone's body is totally different. If you don't have a watch, this is the sort of element when you're absolutely breathing out your backside. You couldn't hold a conversation with anyone, and if you did stop, you'd have to sort of hunk over and try and get your air back. That's whenever you're sort of in that sort of anaerobic threshold. How you're going to be training that then is you're going to be going hard fast, so interval trainings. That could be on a football pitch, so you're marking a football pitch out and you're running in sort of stages of it, so working really hard for a minute, then resting for 30 seconds. It could be up a hill, so find a hill, start at the bottom of the hill, sprint up the hill a certain distance, and then jog back down again, so timing yourself coming back down again. So the aspect of this is you're giving your heart and lungs less time to recover. That kind of session then is you're going to be doing that for a max 30 minutes, and that's a really high quality warm-up beforehand, like a 10-minute one, 30-minute hard sort of session, and a good 10-15 minute cool down and stretch off and all that sort of stuff, because this is the sort of one that's going to put your body through the high amount of stress, which can be susceptible then to more sort of niggly injuries if you don't get it right. Your endurance style of stuff, so the sort of longer sort of runs at a sort of decent medium sized pace, you're sort of being able to hold your breath. Don't get it confused with getting really slow, because it's just junk miles. You need to really still up at decent pace. Don't worry if it feels too slow for you. Listen to your watch. If you're programming it, staying within that sort of high aerobic zone, then that paired up with your anaerobic training each week, while every week you're increasing your mile, naturally your fitness is going to increase anyway. So you'll be thinking to yourself, you know, I'm still being able to talk here, I'm not getting any fitter. This is why you look back into your analytics, your distances, your times, and you'll naturally see you're going further distance at a quicker pace. This is paired up with a good training program. You want to be doing them at least one time a week. So for an example then, that medium style run, if you're going to be doing 3 miles this week, the following week then you would do 4 miles. The week after that you would do 5 miles, 6 miles, so on and so forth, until you're at your desired goal, your desired distance that you want to be holding that pace for. Another top tip then is keeping your good running form. This is something you need to concentrate on the early days if you're a very beginner running. That's keeping your back straight, your hips pushed out, your core tight, so always suck in your stomach no matter what size it is. If you've got a blob, if you haven't got a blob, suck it in to really engage that sort of core muscles. They are going to help running efficiency. The more efficient you are at running, the more faster you're going to be and the further you're going to get. So running form, always keep it in mind when you're running. Another really important aspect to keep in mind throughout any sort of training program, especially running, is listen to your body during your sort of training itself. If you're on a sort of longer distance run or whatever it may be, and you start to feel sort of aches and pains in your legs or wherever it is, which are not usual, just stop and start walking. I know it's very easy to sort of keep the sort of mindset of never give up, push through anything, but trust me, there's a time to maybe be more sensible than being like that. There is a time and a place to be like that, but other aspects, specifically in a training program, you need to be sensible and listen to your body. Because if you start plowing through another 6 miles, that sort of little niggle, which, you know, could result in a little bigger injury, which is going to hold you back in the long run of your training program. So just by sort of taking it, swallowing your pride, stopping and sort of brisk walking back, stretching while you're walking back wherever you need to be, even if you need to phone someone to pick you up, just do it. You've got to listen to your body and look after your body. So probably the most important thing, way more important than anything I've discussed throughout this whole entire video, is just get out and do it. Whatever you're struggling at, whatever it may be, reps will lead to success. The more you do something, the thing that you're the most weakest at, the stronger it's going to become and you're going to be better for it. So just tie them shoelaces, get them trainers on, get out in the rain, get out in the cold, you know, push past whatever boundary it is that's holding you back, just hit it head on and you will succeed. If you like this video and it's first time here, please consider subscribing for more content like this. And if you really did like it, smash that bell icon and the like button, and I'll see you again on the next video.